Hey everybody, what's up? It's Joel, aka The Daily Guru, and it's time for another edition of Something Old, Something New. Today for Something Old, we're only going back a few years, but it's a record you probably missed, but you have to own. It's 2007, and it's the Truckee Brothers album, Double Happiness. Though I love music from every genre conceivable, at the end of the day, there are few things I enjoy more than some good old kick-ass rock and roll music. On every level, Double Happiness delivers huge, and throughout the entire album, there's an attitude and a tone that's second to none. Whether they're getting slow and sentimental, or they're going for an all-out rocker, there's not a moment anywhere on this record that's anything less than stellar. It's the fact that throughout the various sonic landscapes they create, the overall mood and tension remains completely intact that vaults this album so far beyond others. And this is made more enjoyable by the equally extraordinary vocal work on every single song. The contrasting sound of the two main vocalists is absolutely brilliant, and it's the way that they sound just as good when they're combining their sounds in beautiful harmonies as they are when they create massive levels of depth when their voices contrast that makes every song so exciting. Whether it's the ties to that classic hard rock sound, elements of punk rock, or even sounds of psychedelic, this record has something for everyone, and it's the raw, honest way that they deliver that makes the title of Double Happiness absolutely fitting. At the end of the day, every single moment on this album represents everything that makes rock music so great. So trust me on this one, the Truckee Brothers are a band you must have in your collection, so go out right now and get yourself a copy. Thank me later. Today for Something New, I'm excited to talk about the brand new record from the Cranberries, and it's called Roses. Though they did make an attempt at putting out a new record a little less than a decade ago, Roses represents the Cranberries' first album of new music since 2001. In fact, 4 of the songs from that uncompleted album are on this record, but they've been re-recorded and there's no disjunction within the record. Also, maybe the smartest thing the band did was bringing back producer Stephen Street. He was responsible for production on the best albums the band ever did, and he's in top form on this record. In the very early stages of this record, it becomes clear that the band can produce that 90s pop sound like nobody else, and they're finding new ways to do that same sound more than 20 years later. Along with these new takes on that somewhat older sound, Dolores O'Riordan has never sounded as good as she does here. She sounds stronger and more confident than ever before, and there's no question she's one of the most iconic vocalists of the entire generation. Her voice sounds even more extraordinary at the points on the record where they layer her voice a couple of times and you just can't get enough of that amazing sound. The rest of the band sounds just as good, and yet you can hear maturity all across the board in both the way they play and the overall arrangements of these songs. For the most part, Roses focuses on that softer, darker side of the band, and for people who love the Cranberries, it's kind of exactly what you're looking for. At the same time, being a huge fan of this band, it simply doesn't measure up to their first few records. There are a few tracks on Roses that are outright skippable, but at the same time, there's no arguing that the Cranberries definitely still have it as a band. So taking that all into account, if you dig the Cranberries or you were into that 90s pop sound, you'll probably like this record as well. On the buy or borrow it, this one is a solid borrow it. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click subscribe, go ahead and leave a comment, go ahead and click like, whatever you want to do. Remember that if you leave a comment here or you share this video via my Facebook page, you're automatically entered into a contest to win at least 4 of the albums I recommend this month at the end of the month. If you want to email me, you can do that at thedailyguru@gmail.com, and check out my website where every single day I'm talking about the greatest music of all time at thedailyguru.net. You can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook right here, and I'll see you guys again on Wednesday.